Hey, what's going on everybody? Today I'm going to show you a few exercises slash stretches, what we call hip openers, that hopefully you can do in your home, either following me or you can do them later on. You can save this video, also share this with anybody you know who might be dealing with hip pain or back pain. So before I get into these, I just want to share something because this is something I've shared before. But essentially, my son, he broke his collarbone yesterday, and he's in pain. He's in a lot of pain, and I have to get his mind in a situation where he can take the pain in the best way possible, the most graceful way possible. And so, first off, when I heard he broke his collarbone, first thing I said to him was, "Congratulations!" And he was confused. He was like, "Why are you congratulating me?" And the reason is because it's just a part of life. It's a part of living. And I want him to understand that, hey, you know, this is like something that happens to everybody, and good for you. You broke your collarbone. Now we're going to learn from it, and we're going to gain some clarity, because pain is a teacher. It tells you who you are and how you react in situations, or can you respond to the situation rather than reacting. And so look at pain as your teacher. That's the only way to look at it. If you look at it from a victim point of view, you're just going to be more miserable. You're going to complain constantly. So what can you do in this point in time to make things better, right? If the pain is still there after you've explored a lot of options, well, you need to keep exploring, because there's a reason. It is a teacher. It's telling you something. Our body is an amazing machine. It's telling you, hey, you need to wake up. There's something going on that you need to be addressing now. And if you don't, it's going to get worse, right? So if your body's not moving a lot, if you're not giving it what it needs and what it wants, if your brain has lost the connection to certain muscles, it's going to say, hey, you need to wake these up now, or I'm going to show you that there's pain. And that's what the body does. So that's why a lot of people have back pain. There's also the emotional component to it, right? Now, there's a saying, the issues are in the tissues. So when we move the tissue, a lot of times we get these emotions out of the body just through movement. But sometimes we need to do a little bit more. So it's always going to be three things. It's always going to be movement, emotional work, and nutrition. Right? You can't just eat high inflammatory crap all the time and expect the pain to disappear, right? So you have to remove the things that are causing the pain, and then you have to implement the things that will alleviate the pain. So the pillars for that are going to be the back program for foundational work for people just starting out, people who are dealing with pain, who have compression, who have issues there that they've been dealing with for a long time, chronic pain. Then it would be changing the diet, and then it would also be letting go of old repressed emotions. And you can also do that through movement, and sometimes just doing the back program actually releases emotion. We've had people cry after doing the program, and so that's because they're releasing pent up, stored up emotions through movement. Now I put anxiety. So anxiety is relieved by releasing the hip stress. And there's a direct correlation, this is in the science, that when you stretch the hips, it reduces anxiety. This is how connected our body is with emotions. So it's really important to understand this. If you're sitting all day, your hips are going to get locked up. So if you're not stretching the hips, if you're not doing movement that the hips want and need, then you're going to end up with anxiety. You're going to feel like crap. Now, here's a thing to think about. How long have we been sitting at desks for? Not very long. How long have we been sitting on toilets to go to the bathroom? Not very long. Do you know that everybody was squatting down in full squats their whole life, forever, before the last 100 years? Now, can you squat into a full, deep squat right now? I would say the majority of all the people that I've seen who are above 40 to 50 years old can't do a full squat properly, and they can't sit in a squatting position. So if you can't do that, there's most likely a problem in your kinetic chain, right? And this is a first world problem. I've been to many places. I was in Tobago one point in time, just to recall my memory. And I was with some friends and family, and there was a guy there who was 75 years old. He was in a full squat putting CDs into a CD player. And I just thought to myself, like, you would never see this in the US because no one can do a full squat at that age. And he was sitting full squat, no problems. He was comfortable. He was more comfortable than I was. I could do a full squat at the time. But even for me, like, because I'd gotten adapted to the first world lifestyle, it was hard for me. So I'm going to show you some hip openers. First, we're going to do some standing because there's always going to be people who say, oh, I can't do that because of my knees. Well, make it a goal maybe to get there. And there's a lot of things that you can do to help your knees get stronger. You know, like something like walking backwards, starting out, just walking backwards 10 minutes a day will help you get stronger. There's a guy who has the knees over toes program who has a good progression. That's not my main focus. My main focus is back pain relief. So, you know, I always refer people to experts. I know a good bit about it, but the experts are where you want to go for knee pain. What we do here will help the knee. So if you have knee pain, do the best you can. There's always modifications. And so the first thing I'm going to show you is a standing hip flexor stretch. So I'm going to show you both ways. So you're going to have your right leg behind you, left leg forward. We're going to put the pelvis in neutral. A lot of people with back pain have an issue putting the pelvis in neutral. So you might be in this position where you want to tilt it forward, or if you're back like this, you need to tilt it into this position. So we're going to tighten the abs, we're going to squeeze the glute, and then we're just going to push the hips forward. Like we want to bring the hips down towards the knee a little bit. And if you want to add a little bit more to this, you're going to lift the right arm and press it up to the ceiling as you push abs tight, the hips forward. Take a deep breath in, exhale, and then go deeper into the stretch. This is the first level. There's a progression that I'm going to show you after this one or after the next exercise that we do. Okay, so you'd hold it there for 10 to 15 seconds. Ideally, you can go as long as you want, but when you do that, you want to do it 3 sets. So I'm just going to show you 1 set. So you'd repeat that. You do it again, you release, relax, and then you go deeper because now the second time you're looser. Now, with all my videos, I always tell people before you stretch, you got to warm up. So I'm going into the stretching. I've already actually warmed up. So I did some walking lunges. I did some light squats and movements just to get my body flowing and blood flowing. And now I'm limber and able to go in the stretch. So if I did this a second time, now I'd push a little bit deeper and eventually I can go deeper and deeper down into the stretch. And then if you saw my knee is close to the ground, I'm going to show you the stretch where my knee is on the ground. So now I'm going to switch sides. I want to even it out. You know, I don't want to just stretch one side, so we're going to switch. Hopefully you guys can hear me pretty good. My mic is getting smashed up here. Okay, so I'm tightening the abs, squeezing the glutes. As you squeeze the glutes, it's going to pull on the hip flexor and we'll stretch it automatically just by tightening the abs and squeezing the glutes. Then we want to push the hips down towards the knee. As I'm reaching up, always breathing, and then exhale. We relax more on the exhale. That's tapping into the parasympathetic nervous system, so we can relax deeper into it. And if you're not doing this stretch right now, if you do it later, I want you to check in with how you feel before you do it, and then check in how you feel after you do it, because you'll notice almost instantly that you'll feel more relaxed. So anxiety levels will go down. This is stored up, bent up emotion deep in the hip flexor. So I'm just going to do that second stretch again to go deeper, even out both sides. And how you place the back foot will depend where you hit the hip flexor. So if you turn the foot out, you're going to get a little different part of the muscle. If you turn it in, you're going to get another different part of the muscle. So you'll feel it and you can play around with it. So I'm going to go deeper into the stretch. The more I reach up, the more I'm going to feel that kinetic chain all the way down into the hips. And we're going to relax, shake it out. 3 sets would be good. I'd be able to feel deeper, but now I'm feeling deep in the hips. I feel more relaxed. Now, these are ones, let's see if you guys can see that. Okay. So now you can do this. We're going to, again, progress to the floor of both of these exercises that I'm going to show you. So this one, I'm going to put my knee up here, and I'm going to try to place the knee down, and then put my foot almost in the middle of my calf, and then I'm going to just lean forward very slightly. And how you place the foot depends on where you're going to feel this as well. So if you pull the foot in, you're not going to feel it so much in the glutes as you may feel it in what's called the piriformis. If you push the foot out, you're going to feel it a little bit more in the glutes. And then you lean forward and you switch sides. And again, doing it about 3 times, 15 to 20 second holds. And you can see from the other side. So now I'm in this position, I'm leaning forward, and since I have something in front of me, if I didn't have something there, I would extend my arms out and reach as far as I can. So this is actually stretching here, but it's going to help open up the hips for the next thing that we do. And in fact, doing a hamstring stretch or doing a hip flexor stretch before you do a hamstring stretch is even better. You'll get a deeper hamstring stretch. So we'll end on the hamstring stretch because that is a lot of times connected with back pain because it's pulling your pelvis into the back position. So if you have tight hamstrings, if you stretch the hip flexors, then you do the hamstrings, you'll feel it a lot more. All right, so now I'm going to go to the floor and we're going to do the hip flexor stretch, but now in a deeper position. And this will help your knees and your hips and your quads. And this actually help the whole chain of your front leg, really. So now there's a couple ways you can do this. You can do it just kneeling, taking a deep breath in, just like I did on the first stretch. Exhale, and go deeper, pushing those hips down on an angle into the floor, right? So now I'm really feeling that deep in the hips. Breathing. Now, if I want to go even deeper, I can pull my right leg up and I can use both hands to try to pull it all the way in. Now, my leg cramped up on me there. So yeah, that position is a more advanced position. So you'll see it's harder to get in that position. So I'm going to pull my leg up and then from this position, tighten my abs and my glutes. Take a deep breath in, and I'm pushing the hips forward and down, and now I feel this in my quad and my hip flexors. Okay, and then this is going to help the knee, the hip, and the lower back because the hip flexors are connected to your lower back. So we're going to switch sides, do the same thing. Let's see if you can see it a little better here now. So now I'm doing the first one. We're just pushing the hips forward, taking a deep breath in, exhale, and then pushing the hips forward. By the way, if you're watching this, go ahead and let me know where you're checking in from. And if you're dealing with any issues, go ahead and leave it in a comment and maybe we'll get back to you with some help and see how we can help you along with that. If you're dealing with back pain, then definitely try our Relief for Life program if you haven't done so already. All right, so I'm pushing those hips forward, down. Oh man, so that feels even deeper because I did the standing stretch. Now we're going to go with the grabbing of the foot. Take a deep breath in, exhale, and go forward just a little bit more. And I feel that really deep. It's been a while since I've actually done this, and I've been playing a lot of basketball, and basketball activates these muscles a lot. So I'm feeling it. It's good. It's good to take these days of just stretching and recovery. If you did this 5 minutes a day, just a few stretches, it will change your life. And that's why we really promote the Back Pain Relief for Life program, because just a little bit a day is your medicine. What's happening is people are taking the wrong medicine, meaning they're taking things that are Band-Aids. It's not going to fix the root cause of the issue. The root cause of the issue is always going to stem from your brain, right? So as we activate these muscles and we start to strengthen areas that need to be strengthened and stretch areas that are tight, we start to align the body, and the body rewards us and says, yes, I feel good because you're giving me what I'm supposed to have. I'm supposed to be moving a lot. I'm supposed to be mobile. I'm supposed to be flexible. That is what we're here for. That's what we're designed to do. We're not designed to sit down all day. We're not designed to sit in a cubicle. We're not designed to be in a house all day. We've been thousands of years outside, connected to the earth, out in the sun, squatting down, picking things up, lifting things, moving things, all day, every day, because it was dependent on our survival. Now we need to do it for maintenance, because survival is no longer an option. It's not like most people in the first world aren't surviving by lifting logs and rocks and carrying barrels of water. And you guys have all that. We all have that readily accessible. So now we have to do these things just to maintain, right? Or else we get weakened. And who wants to be weak? We want to, there's a saying, pray to be stronger so that that life you encounter is easier, right? You don't want to just, you don't want life to be harder because you're weaker. You want to be stronger, and then life becomes easier because you're stronger. That's how things work. You get stronger, life becomes easier, and this is what we're doing here today. And so the next thing we're going to do is, let's see if you guys can see this all the way, is we're going to get into a position where you put that front leg just like I had on the table at 90 degrees in front of you. You try to get that back leg as far back as you can in a 90-degree position as well, and you're going to just lean forward. So with this one, we're now doing a glute stretch, but we're doing a hip stretch at the same time. So we prepared it with the standing one, and so now we're just going to lean forward. We really want to kind of feel that back leg stretch as we stretch the glute out. Take a deep breath in, exhale, go forward, and holding it there for about 10 to 15 seconds. And again, switching sides, putting that leg as far back as you can get it. And you can actually do this in a couple of ways. You can do it with this knee bent. You can actually turn forward to feel more of the hip stretch by keeping this. And in yoga, they call this, I think, like a pigeon pose. So this is also in yoga. So there's different variations. So right now we're just doing the knee bent back because it might take some time before you get into that position. So we're leaning forward, taking a deep breath in, exhale. And again, you can reach as far forward as you want. You can shift this foot as much as you want. You want to feel the stretch in your position. Everybody's anatomy is different. So you have to find out what works best for you. And like I said, we're going to end with a full hamstring stretch, because now we opened up the hips. We'll now feel the posterior chain even more. We're going to take a deep breath in, sit up as straight as we can, keeping the back nice and straight. We're not hunching over. We're just going to move forward from the lower back. Elongate the spine. Take a deep breath in. Push the forehead down. And reach forward a little bit more, making sure we're not rounding at the lower back. We're elongating the spine and pushing the head down. Holding that for 10 to 15 seconds. All right, so we just did 5 stretches. We did 2 standing, hip flexor glutes on the floor, and then a sit and reach stretch. Now, I'd love to know, if you did those, how you feel afterwards, because it takes literally 5 minutes. I'm explaining this, but if you just did those few movements a day, you'll feel like a different person. You'll start your day with your brain more open, because as we do movements, it fires off these neurons and neural pathways that you probably haven't used in a long time. And as you begin to use them more, they open up more. And now that's how neurology works. Right? So movement of your body, movement of even just your eyes opens up brain compartments, right? So we teach people eye exercises just to get their brain more opened up. So movements in general are opening up your brain. It's going to stave off disease, things like Alzheimer's, all that. You know, people talk about taking medication, taking nutrition. Movement is the most powerful thing that you have. It's bar none, nothing compares to it. It doesn't matter what science studies you read, because they're trying to tell you that this thing that you take and drink is going to make you the best. Movement is the best. Now, synergize that with good nutrition and good mental health, like mental hygiene, meaning like you're getting rid of negative emotions. Like say you were angry all day at somebody, and then you know how to get rid of that and let it go. Those are going to be the number one thing, or the number three things that you can do to keep your body and your mind healthy for the longest time. And so real simple exercises, simple movement is life-changing. And for those of you who've done the Back Pain Relief for Life program, they know it. They scream it from the top of their lungs. And that's why we have the following we do, because just showing people, hey, if you do this, your back pain will be gone. And once their back pain's gone, their whole life changes, because now they're less fearful. Now they're able to do their hobbies. Now they're able to exercise the way that they want. They're able to move the way that they want, which is really what it comes down to. It restricts movement. It restricts your life. And no one wants to be living in fear. No one wants to be living in pain. So just do the work. Do the work that is necessary. The Band-Aid approaches will never get to the root of the issue. And so that's what I'm here to teach people. That's what I'm here to tell people, that is getting to the root of the cause is way better. It'll save you time, save you money, save you pain in the future. Is just do the root work, and life is easier because you become stronger. And getting stronger is the name of the game. And so I hope you guys enjoyed this. Have a great day.